Okay, what is going on, CYPRX YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. In today's video breakdown, we're going to talk about lack of regulatory clarity, why institutional adoption is sitting on the sidelines. We're going to talk about the institutional players that are coming into this market and giving you guys physical video proof of that potentially happening. So stick around for this YouTube video. And before we dive in, make sure that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel and give this a thumbs up if videos like this and many others have been helping you all out understand the market a little bit better. So diving into two tweets before we jump into the video breakdown, I want to talk to you guys about impatience in the market. And I tweeted out to you guys, impatience will literally get you destroyed in this market. This is when the strong leave all the weak traders behind. Real traders know this is when you accumulate coins with utility and proper use cases. A prosperous future for crypto is inevitable. You guys seem to like that tweet. I really do appreciate all the tweets and the likes and things of that nature. You guys interacting with me on social media, that's outstanding. So moving on to this one, this is from a more day trading perspective, talking about patience in the market and that patience pays. And it reads, I cannot stress enough what the average trader does wrong. They trade too much. They don't pick their spots selectively enough. And when they see the market moving, they want to be in on the action. So they end up forcing the trade rather than waiting patiently. And that is more so of a day trading approach when we're talking about patience. Understanding, guys, where we are operating at, guys and gals, understanding where we're operating at in this market right now and how early we are on and the percentage of individuals that you actually operate in this market, then you can really adopt a long-term perspective in this market. And I can almost guarantee you, again, not financial advice, but the people that stick around in this market, in this cryptocurrency space, now I'm not talking about the forex space or anything like that. I'm mainly talking about long-term cryptocurrency holdings. Now that obviously differentiates if you're looking to day trade or if you're looking to scalp cryptocurrency to build a portfolio. But people that are here for the long run really truly understand what you hold, what assets that you're investing in, and hopefully you're putting your money into assets that have proper use cases and utility for bank and institutions to adopt long term, right? So I want to take you guys over here to a digital asset custody, a symposium that took place. This is a talk about institutional adoption. I just want to play some snippets of this video for you guys here. So just listen closely, and I find it very interesting piecing things together. Notice how this article or this video, is from May 5th, 2020. So this is about 2 years ago. Okay, so just listen here to what this lady has to say.
The safety of their assets. There's also the issue of lack of regulatory clarity. I'm sure that's something that's going to come up time and time today, but it is an issue for custody, so we might try and touch on that as well. This chart shows different regulatory jurisdictions, and the main takeaway here is the gray circles mean that they have no regulations in place. And if you look at custody, which is
Okay, so what she said is that the gray circles that you're viewing on the screen right now are where lack of regulatory framework is built in place. And if you can see here, China is the #1 that has ban, and then all gray circles. We can see here that the orange is represented a banned space for the cryptocurrency market, okay? And so what I want you to understand is that the yellow is regulatory guidance in progress. The blue is obviously, of course, regulatory guidance that exists. So imagine in the future, institutional adoption, when they see this chart and they see all these yellows turn to blue and all these grays turn to yellow and then to blue. What you have to understand is that this is coming. This chart 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now is going to be 50% blue, right? 60% blue, 75% blue, all the way up until this chart comes until about 80 to 89%, maybe even 90% blue is when the institutional adoption is going to start to flood into this market. And when that happens, and guys, you have to understand that that is coming. That is coming. So ask yourself again, as an investor, are you going to situate yourself on the right side of this market? Yes, there's a lot of volatility in this market. Yes, we're experiencing regulatory clarity and framework in this market. Things like the crash that just happened with Luna is extremely scary to the average retail investor. But if you do your research, you're investing in crypto assets that have future use cases and utility, most likely, again, not financial advice, your portfolio is going to come out on top long term. I want to take you guys to another little snippet from this video, and it's where this lady asks this man talking about institutional adoption, where he sees the future of cryptocurrency and institutional adoption coming into play.
For the first question, actually, I'd like to go to Miha. You said, you've been in the business for a long time. You're one of the only liquidity venue on this panel. Let's define what institution really means in context of crypto. What are you seeing? Who are the players on the institutional side that are active in this market?
Yeah, thank you. It's a good question because people talk about a lot about institutions for the last 3 years, right? The institutions are coming. But actually what kinds of institutions these are, they differ very much from what you imagine is to be like a tier 1 financial institution from downtown Wall Street. So I would say it came in waves. First, I would say it was more institutional-like players who were deploying trading strategies that are very much institutional in nature, but very light on the regulatory side, I would say. And then it just scaled up from there. And I would say if we started out with, proprietary trading companies, then moved over to a little bit more of a crypto hedge fund type of setup, then we saw the first challenger banks, private banks, some family offices. So it's progressing slowly, but in no way can we talk about institutions, the size of, I don't know, BlackRock or similar just yet. But I do see that as time goes on, as infrastructure gets built, as exchanges become more high performance, as things become more standardized in terms of custody, settlement, clearing, all the super boring stuff that we associate with, financial markets in the end. If it works, it works. And this is what is appealing to institutions. So we're not quite there yet, but I think we're much farther down along the road than we were, let's say, 2 years ago.
Great.
Okay, so you heard him finish that off right there, is that they're much longer down the road than they were 2 years ago. So think, again, displaying back to that PDF or that PowerPoint that I was showing you. Imagine 2-3 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 years, 7, 10 years from now, all those blue dots that are going to come into fruition and the institutional influx of money that is going to happen. I want to take you guys over to an article here, and it reads, Galaxy Digital sees substantial wave of capital ready for crypto investments. Scrolling down to the meat of this article, larger institutions are waiting for more regulatory clarity, but a really substantial wave of capital is ready to be put to work across the cryptocurrency industry, said Damien, Galaxy Digital Holdings Ltd's co-president and head of global markets. Reading some key points from this article, while every major traditional financial player of note has developed some version of a crypto working group, he said the institutional wallet really has not arrived in our sector yet. Don't confuse lack of activity in coin segment as lack of willingness or sophistication, continued Vanderbilt, who spoke at a Concord Genuity's Digital Asset Symposium on Tuesday. When regulatory issues become more settled, knowledgeable institutional investors will be ready to capitalize. That is massive. Vanderbilt said in his conversation with investors suggests many are seeing recent plunges in crypto prices as buying opportunities. You think that this man that's having conversations with these investors is talking to the average retail trader who's buying on Coinbase from home? No, he's having conversations with big institutional players, and they're looking at this space right now, what's going on, as a buying opportunity. He said everything is connected these days, and leveraged hedge funds often need to lessen their exposure to crypto markets during equity market sell-offs. Galaxy said he estimates the current market cap of all coins and cryptocurrency ecosystems to be just under $3 trillion, excluding areas such as venture investments, compared with estimates of global wealth around $450 trillion freaking dollars, guys. That means the total market cap of crypto, excluding venture capital, is only about 40 basis points of total global wealth. Imagine when 20 trillion of this money comes into the crypto space, or even just 15 trillion of this money comes into the crypto space. Guys, that's not even, it's not even hitting 50 trillion yet, okay? Imagine when just $150 trillion comes into the crypto space, which inevitably will happen if this is the digital revolution that is taking place, and banking institutions are going to start transforming this into cryptocurrency, kind of way of doing things. So taking you guys over here to this article right here, we see BlackRock CIO fixed income Rick Ryder went on CNBC and said cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is here to stay, and Bitcoin will take the place of gold as an inflation hedge. BlackRock is the largest asset management firm, and you guys heard that man mention BlackRock. So BlackRock is the largest asset management firm on earth, and these statements are very bullish for Bitcoin. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse once again confirms he holds Bitcoin and that its use case is a store of value. He tweeted as BTC He tweeted, as a BTC holder, I want it to succeed and believe in its use case, which is a store of value. Same as I believe in XRP's distinct use case, payments. This also means being aware of potential weaknesses like mining control in China. For future progress, these two are not mutually exclusive. And we see them here mention China. And we saw in that lady's PDF breakdown that China was the #1 place with lack of regulatory framework and the bans on cryptocurrency. So coming over here, reading the meat of this article, now reports have emerged, and this is from Forbes, now reports have emerged that the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, which looks after $10 trillion in assets for institutional investors, is gearing up to enter the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. Now, looking at these numbers, 10 trillion and 450 trillion, let's just imagine that XRP takes on, $2 trillion or $3 trillion of this money, what that means for investors right now. Look at the price of XRP and really consider it as an investment opportunity. That is personally why I'm taking a position on XRP and other cryptocurrency assets, because the ROI is extremely prevalent. Again, I'm investing money into this market that I'm willing to lose, but am I willing to pump a couple thousands of dollars into this market for it to potentially turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars? Not being greedy, right? What I'm looking to do to allocate my funds and my profits is, once my money turns into hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe potentially millions of dollars, especially if XRP runs up to, $50 per se. I'm not looking for these moon boy price targets of $100, $500, $1,000. I'm situating myself and accumulating my portfolio by dollar cost averaging in on the right side of the market. So that way, when crypto assets like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Casper, LCX, right? XDC, right? Which all have the potential to reach $5, $10, $15, $20 in the future, my money turns into hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars by just hitting those numbers. I'm not sitting here trying to be a moon boy for you guys, really getting you all to understand the percentages and gains that you could potentially accumulate. Again, not investing advice. That's what I'm doing. If these cryptocurrency assets do accumulate $2 trillion market caps, $3 trillion market caps, and just showing you guys that institutional adoption is coming and that being patient plays a major role in this game and your longevity in this market. So make sure that you guys follow me on Twitter. If you enjoy this video breakdown, smash that thumbs up button. I just want to take your attention over here to an article on wellsfargo.com where they talk about understanding cryptocurrencies. Now, I displayed this to you guys in the past video, but for anybody that's new to this channel, scrolling down to the meat of this article, we see them display a graph, and this graph depicts the electricity, cell phone, automobile, color TV, internet, radio, hyper adoption phase. And we can see that each of them started down here at the bottom. Look at where Wells Fargo, again, you can find this on wellsfargo/investment.com, right? Cryptocurrency, where they mention cryptocurrencies at. This is in 2020. Notice how this video came out in 2020. Well, we can see where we are at in this hyper adoption phase. I know personally that I'm situating myself on the right side of this market, just like how early adopters of Amazon, Google, right, Apple, all in this area had and experienced a boom and bust cycle. That is what I'm trying to capitulate on the cryptocurrency markets. I'm looking and seeking to really turn my wealth that I've accumulated from the forex markets and my personal income into cryptocurrency assets for it to grow for me long term, right? Having your money work for you over the long run, which is again what 90% of individuals cannot comprehend. They're impatient. They want that winning lottery ticket. They want to become millionaires overnight so they can buy that Lamborghini that they think is going to make them happy, but in reality it's not. They still hate themselves as individuals. Looking at yourself in the mirror, right? It's disgusting how saturated this market is with all these moon boy price predictions and everybody attempted to steer people in the wrong direction. Calm yourself, take a breather, look at yourself in the mirror and ask what you really want as an individual, not only for your personal life, but financially, right? What you want to accomplish, and then start to create a bucket list, start to create a series of goals and execute those goals in a well-mannered fashion. And I promise you guys will come out on top. It's insane what you can really accomplish in this market when you put your mind to it, right? And you can just be a regular average individual that seriously takes themselves from 0 to 100 real quick. That's all I'm going to say. I'll finish there. Blessings to you guys. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure that you do so. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps boost the YouTube algorithm, and we really do appreciate it. As always, guys and gals, be cognizant, be aware, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.